through that. All right, let's see here. So it says in stream, but it's not streaming to this page yet. What's going on? Oh, what was that? Go back to here. Let's go back to here. Oh, there it is. Go live. All right, now it's a moment, brother. All right, brother. We go live, baby. All right, so it's a keyframe too low. The thing about that is, so we might have to turn it off that we can't see each other ourselves.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. But I'm glad that I got a chance to see what I was able to see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I can just do this, go to performance mode. So I closed Facebook on here, but you can check on your phone. Yeah. Hopefully the sound is good. Please tell us if the sound is good. I wish you had a paper right here. Like, comment. Indeed. If the sound isn't good, if you can't hear us.
Wait, are we able to
see
what they said in the chat?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
ideally, I think you would have to do. This is stream chat. We'll see it. We could tap on Facebook.
Gotcha.
Or I can have it. Oh yeah, but that might slow it down on the Safari. But for this time, for the purposes of making sure it's going fast enough, I won't type it in there. But on your phone, you can see it. Check it out. Let's check the sound. Cool. So this is all a sound check right now, guys, and a video check to see if the live is going well and smooth. And
yes, sir.
You know, this is exciting.
Most definitely is, man. I'm honestly, bro. I'm glad to be here.
That's good, brother. I'm glad. You know, you.
I feel like it is indeed with purpose.
Yes.
You feel me? You know, and lately that's just what I'm about, man. Like things that I do must have purpose.
Absolutely, brother.
And I feel like there's strong purpose in this.
This brother came to preach. We definitely got some purpose, man. It's just we're given life, and we live.
It looks good so far.
In the short term of life that we've already lived, we learn what we learn, and you know it's up to us to be responsible to learn from it and to grow from it, and then also teach others so maybe they can learn from it and grow from it without having to go through those downfalls, go that pain. Because you know in life you go through a lot of pain.
Indeed, man. Indeed.
What do you think is your best coping mechanism to go through pain?
Coping mechanism. Wow, bro. Like oftentimes I listen to music, man.
Yeah.
I listen to music and I somehow try to find a way to center myself. You feel me?
Okay.
Honestly, okay, so it's two things that I do. One thing is not the best thing, and it's something that I'm trying to overcome.
Okay.
But I withdraw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oftentimes I withdraw. But the good thing that I do, though, you know what I'm saying, I take the time to reflect and assess, you know what I'm saying, and make sense of what's going on around me. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that, like, let's just say that that an event happened that requires me to cope with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I have to step away from the event
mm-hmm.
or occurrence. Just create distance so that my thoughts can run freely and I deal with my thoughts individually.
Okay.
To get over or get past or learn something from that event that I must cope with.
And that's so powerful because so many people, they don't really put attention to breaking it down and analyzing it in your mind. You kind of have to have that skill set naturally to want to analyze things.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be an analytical person to adopt this skill, to start doing it. And I didn't know that I was an analytical person until, took this test and they said the top 5 skills, and one of them was being analytical. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a part of being able to break it down. And I too am very self-reflective when it comes to having to deal with situations. Because, some people it's a matter of luck. Some people don't have to deal with as many situations where you're required to cope, with stressful events. And unfortunately for some, I can say that I have, but I'm not going to say that I had the most, because I'm sure there's people out there that's just having I don't even know how to describe it, bad at it, because, stressful situations after stressful situations.
Honestly, bro, life is supposed to be hard, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like there's a certain way that we as individuals deal with hardships.
Mm.
I say that because, of course, we're supposed to work hard. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be enthused and energetic for the things that keeps us going.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So so it's a requirement. It's a duty of ours to put in hard work, sweat, tears, some type of equity into what it is that we're doing. And oftentimes when it comes to that stress mechanism, I feel that there is mentally some type of
block?
Either friction, a block, or disconnection, or something towards that nature that takes the required hardship to achieve and accept the hardship to survive. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's just something that just happens to people, unfortunately, especially when you speak on something like luck. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Tons of luck involved.
Yeah,
because you could have been born in, you can always been born in a much worse situation. You know, so sometimes I sit back and think, and you know, as you just said, life is meant to be hard, and when things are even going very well, because sometimes you'll see moments of, you know, the hard work you put in to have returns and things are going well, but then you're like, wait a minute, there's two ways you can think, multiple ways you can think of it. Some people, they do the dumb thing. They're self-destructive. They're not used to having good things go well. They're like, why are things moving so smoothly? Yeah. You know, they want to blow things up. You know, they want things to they want drama to occur.
Chaotic and archaic by nature.
Yeah, they like chaos. Where is it at? And missing it. You know,
that's unfortunate.
Or you know, you get so comfortable with it. You get so comfortable with the lack of chaos, and then you get scared of taking chances, and you get stuck in being complacent. Where you were at, and you're like, well, I don't want to risk what I lost, even though I do have some urges and desires to go for more, but it's still too risky. And then people get to that place forcefully because of life changes, because they have much more to lose, and it can be other people depending on them. Now, obviously, there is, you know, still a place for that mindset to be reservative, but of course, still taking chances. There's somewhere in between that you got to be at. But what do you think happens, or what do you think is going on in those minds of people who just doesn't have that mindset to want to work for anything at all, or they just want, they're more vocal, you know, tatterboxes, but they really don't have the urges to feel that they should be working for anything?
Man, I feel like I can speak on this firsthand, bro. It's the fact that, you know, I believe that some people are looking for a mold. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how sometimes you just get into a mold. Like, you know how I know you're familiar with that term of, you know, I got so mad I blacked out. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's something that's uncontrollable. You know, I can't control it, but what I'm doing, and what I'm saying. Yeah. It's a mold. I believe that people be looking for that mold to where it's that, you know what I'm saying, the light is on, boom. Yeah. And there's nothing else to do but do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm inside of that. I believe that that's what people are looking for, because I personally believe, especially if you're a person with good intentions and you are not lying to yourself, or maybe you are lying to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you are at a point where it's that, like, okay, if I say this, okay, so if it sounds good coming from my mouth and into another person's ears, and they give me the energy that, oh, what you just said sounded really good, maybe that would spark something within me to build upon that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that's missed, the thing that's missed though, is that that's the energy that you have to build on. You have to put effort into that energy. Yeah. Like you have to continue to go into that cookie jar. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or put cookies in that cookie jar. And it just won't feel the same.
It's definitely you gotta master being able to navigate your energy. You know,
Wow,
to
yeah.
understand like, okay, I perform well here. I suck here. I am harsh to others here. You know, because I'm being harsh to myself at this moment. So maybe I should just remove myself when I'm here. And but when I'm here, the good moment, the performative moment, this is what I've done for myself. This is how I've kind of tricked myself into having more cycles of being performative and being productive, and just reminding myself what's at stake is that when I'm happy, when I'm in that best energetic mood, it's the right notes for myself. You know, not saying like bipolar, like part of it is kind of like having multiple versions of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, because
and then another thing is accepting that too.
Yeah, accepting it.
Accepting the fact that there are multiple versions of you,
and you work
being
with them.
able to adapt, because you always going to like in this social construct of a world that we're living in right now, you're always gonna be around different variants of people. You know what I'm saying? And it's about knowing who you can accept to be, who you can accept, and knowing when someone or a crowd or whatever the case may be does not accept you as well, and being okay with that either way. You know what I'm saying? But being able to adapt within the multiple forms of yourself,
Exactly.
and being able to be in those environments comfortably.
Okay, and I can't speak for everyone, but you know, if we got multiple forms, there's probably, of course, several people we interact with on a daily basis who have multiple forms, multiple moods, and you're kind of like meeting them in the middle. You don't know what you're getting at, and that's why some people a lesson of stoicism of not taking things too personal, because like just like if you go to the movies late. And you show up 20 minutes late and you walk in the middle of the movie. You don't know what the hell happened at the beginning of the movie, so things are not making sense to you. But obviously, you know, are you going to be mad at the movie making sense, or are you going to be mad at yourself? You know, are you going to be, or just understand like, well, I don't understand because I don't know the beginning. Maybe if I learn the beginning, I can understand more. And sometimes you kind of make your energy and decide, well, do I want to understand this more, or do I just not care and move on? Just like you're saying, understanding and being able to accept. I don't fit in this crowd. I'm not going to try to force myself to fit in this crowd.
That's deep.
Unfortunately, though, when in our adolescence, when we're young, we're stuck in locations geographically by proximity of not having multiple options of personalities, multiple dynamics of different groups, that we get stuck. So we have to forcefully try to adapt in, or we can just isolate ourselves. Depending on your natural personality, you might want to isolate yourself, or you might want to try to force yourself to adapt. Both versions have its pros and cons. Obviously, going against who you really are, to me, is the most negative thing that you can possibly do, though. There's a fine line between growing yourself, reinventing yourself to become a better version of yourself, but to be lying to yourself and making this false image of yourself who you don't even like, because you think that would be for other people that would like a better version to them. You want to be the better version of yourself that you see within yourself.
So, I mean, that's real deep, and the only reason why I would ask this question right here, well, matter of fact, let me just spit the question. You know, how do you find your nature then? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, if you think about it, you know, you have like, okay, well, very first and foremost, let's just think about like the animal kingdom, because I feel like it's easier to interpret that way. You know, like if you see a leopard, you know it's a leopard. If you see a lion, you know it's a lion. You know what I'm saying? And a leopard is not going to change where his spots are on his fur. You know what I'm saying? Like he cannot change it. You know what I'm saying? It's just his nature. And a lion is, if it survives for 10 years, it has killed whatever it has eaten to get itself through its days and months within that 10 years. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's its nature. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to, you know what I'm saying, condemn a lion for killing. You know what I'm saying? That's how he gets through his days. So now, how do you find your nature? You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when you describe animals just now, it's more black and white because, of course, they're playing the cards as dealt to them. And to me, I don't have enough information, and I know that you were using that metaphorically or as an allegory, should I say, of how
great word choice, by the way.
How we find our nature compared to like how an animal finds its nature in the animal kingdom, and it's very similar to like just understanding again playing the cards as dealt to you, understanding that all right, this at certain 8 times in your life you have a certain limited deck of cards. As you get older, like right now, when you're a child, you got to get home a certain time. You got, you're on a time clock. As an adult, you're on a time clock. However, you play by your own rules.
Yeah.
You play by your
So coming up, you have boundaries that you can't control.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Typically,
typically.
Yeah.
Some people have more freedom.
Exactly.
For sure.
So typically, you have boundaries that you can't control, and then when you earn that freedom by getting up to a certain age and being on your own or wise enough.
Mm-hmm.
Or mature enough to make your own decisions, you then set the standard by setting your own boundaries.
Exactly. In the beginning, you still don't know. You still don't know what you like. You still don't know what you want, and those things change. You try that out. You may have thought you liked something, but then you outgrow it, and that outgrowing is sometimes that maturity of realizing something's practical nature of it at all. Like, is it practical for me to want to, like, when I was younger, I thought it'd be so awesome to want to party hard and do all that, like, go crazy with a bunch of friends all the time and hang out. But is that practical for the human body? I don't think so. I don't think it is. Age will tell you differently. Is it practical for it to actually be able to sustain real relationships, quality relationships, not just that friend that you play games with, or that friend you play cards with? And there's definitely a place for those friends.
Yeah.
But then there's that area of your life where you start trying to develop those more intimate relationships where you want to grow upon something. When your significant other, you want to grow upon a family, grow upon the assets your family holds. When you meet certain friends, certain business partners, you want to grow upon assets with that as well. Grow upon creations of content. Grow upon, financial gain.
So just naturally, you know what I'm saying? The human instinct wants more of something, regardless of what that something is. So it's up to you as an individual to, very first and foremost, to the point of the conversation, assess within.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And determine and figure out and set the stage and the standard of what it is that you want more of. And then you put in the effort and the energy into getting more of that thing.
Yes. You put in more once you start realizing what you want. You have to map out how to get there. Unfortunately, we live in a society where things are just presented. You see the after results. Yeah. And you also sometimes see premature results. You'll see someone renting something very nice and material. Your mind clicks. They own that. That's theirs. That's their gain. That's what they've created their life. To be sure, there's some kudos that could be thrown around for people in general. You should be positive. You should want to uplift others. No doubt about it. But don't get lost in this fictional world and reality of people just presenting the best version of themselves at all times, which may cause you to lose focus of who you are and also make it look easier than it's supposed to be. which brings us back to the conversation that life is supposed to be hard, and then that's when you kind of lose. Once you start losing that as a big aspect, a column, I should say. Let's think of a coliseum with tons of columns holding it up. That's got to be a column in the foundation of who someone is to be successful in life. Yeah. It's about making sure life is difficult, making sure you understand that, and you accept it, and you unfortunately have to. To me, I trick myself to enjoy the difficult parts, like those stressful parts at least. Okay, some difficult parts they suck, they hurt, like loss of life. Yeah. That's painful. Don't wish that upon anyone. Obviously, it's inevitable for all of us. Yes. All of us has our last day. Unfortunately, the longer we live to see our last day, the more people will see their last days. And that's just something that you'll have to learn as an adult. You know, whoever listens to this in the future, if you're young, or if you've never lost anyone close to you, which I meet people in their 30s who told me they've never lost someone close to them. And I tell them every time, either you've made sure not to get close to many people, or you've been some lucky son of a gun, you should play the lottery today. Literally. No, seriously, because you have some lucky charms on you.
Seriously, man. Hey, like to that point, it blew my mind when I actually heard this line on that movie, Fatherhood. Yeah. The white guy, he was like, so after Kevin Hart's wife died, he came back to work from a short period of grieving. And then he was like, I've never seen anyone die before. I mean, I've seen a squirrel die once. And it's like, wait a minute. You never seen nobody die? Yeah. Like, I couldn't even, like, because, like, bro, like, coming up, like, with such a large family, man. Bro, my first funeral that I went to, I was, like, 2. You know what I'm saying? Or 3. You know? And, bro, it's been so many... Since then, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, and especially up until the age 11 or 12. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like during that, like I'll say 12 because 12 was when my great grandma had passed. Yeah. So I'll say between the decade of 2 and 12. Yeah. Dude, a lot of doggone funerals, bro.
Did you get to know your great grandma?
Very well, man. Yeah, man. I was actually proud of my relationship between myself and my great grandmother. Yeah. And you know what? It's actually funny that you even asked that question because it just popped in my head that maybe I tend to carry myself the way that I do because of the relationship that she and I had. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I specifically remember, and now I'm just diving into an original thought right now. You know, because I specifically remember that my grandmother, she always appreciated, my great-grandmother, she always appreciated how respectful and, like, wholesome I was. You know what I'm saying? Because she was... unfortunately, at the time, raising her grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? It was like
her grandchildren. So you're.
So these are like my second cousins. Oh, okay. But it's like my dad. So my dad and these cousins, they're like first cousins. So if you have like a aunt who has a kid, boom, that's what they are. For sure. But they are so far in age from my dad that these cousins are like in my age group. Yeah, type,
exactly. You know I got something like that too.
Yeah, so so man, it's crazy because it just
any memories or sayings that used to come to mind? Think about your great grandmother.
Man, it's a couple things that I remember. I remember the one time ever that I had disrespected her, and I definitely was immediately after it happened. I'm just like, bro, I shouldn't have did that because that is not even me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, this is me. You know what I'm saying? Doing what, to the nature, like to the nature of what one of my cousins would do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it was because I was upset. I was strongly upset at the time. So this is what happened. So at one point, one of my cousins, fought or like hit my younger sister, like whatever the case. There was something that went on between one of my cousins and my younger sister.
Yeah.
And naturally, I had a reaction toward my cousins. So I was the one who had gotten in trouble for whatever reason at the time.
You fought your cousin?
Yeah.
Defending your sister?
Yeah. So for whatever reason at the time, and when my great grandmother was reprimanding me, and granted, like she would reprimand us often,
Mm-hmm.
if we got out of line. But typically, with the respect level that I had, I would never come back. I would never ask why. You know what I'm saying? I would never continue on doing whatever I was doing at the same, regardless.
Yeah.
I would always just respect, and do what it is that she says. But this time in particular, like she was, saying something to me, and I just couldn't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm not wrong for coming at my cousin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because initially he was wrong. You feel what I'm saying? And then this is my sister. Like, so she's a girl. You know what I'm saying? And I like mid sentence, I just waved her off and walked away from her.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But,
how old were you?
Man, I don't even remember.
You
bro.
said she passed when you were 12.
So I was definitely. This was definitely before 10 for sure.
Yeah.
I had to be like 7 maybe.
Oh wow.
Like 7 or 8. You know what I'm saying? I probably was 7 though. Yeah. And I knew. Like even in that moment, it was kind of hard to do, but I just did it anyways because it was like I was so frustrated. You know what I'm saying? So I just waved off and then I just walked out. But to my point though,
was there any repercussions to that?
You know what? I didn't even get a whooping after that. You know what I'm saying? I did not, bro, surprisingly enough. But she did later on in that same day come to me and say, like, Gerard, you did this to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what, Granny? Like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. Like, yeah. I just remember saying, I just remember her saying that, Gerard, you did this to me. And me responding saying, you know what, Granny, I'm sorry. I specifically remember that exchange.
That's a very mature type of, that's a mature memory to have at that age of you thinking like, oh, that was wrong. I shouldn't have done that, and accepting it. And then at that age, of course, we're so young that we'll see someone else do something. And then if it's something we haven't done yet, and we might not be old enough yet to come to the conclusion that it's not even worth trying. Not even worth exercising ourselves.
And honestly, that might even be part of the reason why I even remember that so vividly. That's just a moment that I have never forgotten.
It's a pivoting moment. I was like, we understand, like, okay.
Yeah, man, because again, bro, like to your point, I knew I didn't have the audacity to do it. I knew that I have not built up the esteem to bring myself to do something like that. As it was
felt unnatural.
Yes, and then I just like my hand just went up. I just turned around. And I'm like, whatever.
Sorry, Granny, I was audacious.
I was out of my body.
It was out of body experience.
Yeah, seriously, man.
Oh my God. I got some memories of my great grandmother as well. What was your great mother's name? Your great grandmother.
Ermatine Brown.
They always got some
interesting
names.
Yeah.
My great grandmother,
straight Southern.
Yeah, exactly. My great grandmother's name was Josie.
Yeah,
Josie. And I just remember she was real big on just keeping neat, like hygienic, and she would fold, like even doing laundry, fold all the socks and pair all the socks. And I remember she was getting on me about this. She's like, baby, you gotta make sure your socks are all together. And I was just like, that take too much time, Grandma. And she's like, we got none but time. I'm like, damn. I'm like, you know what? With your age, I guess you're right. That's one of my memories. But I don't have any like life lessons with her, unfortunately. We didn't spend a whole lot of time with her because of like probably some family dynamics that was going on with my mother, because that's my mother's side. With that side of the family. But it was, I cherished the moments though. But at that time, obviously, to me, I think as a kid, it took a while for me to mature to the point of appreciation of time and appreciation of moments that you share with family. But now when I think back on it, I'm like, wow, I don't want to forget this. I don't want to forget those memories. You have to kind of like, when you haven't thought about something in a while, you kind of have to like put more thought to it. And I remember Josie Clark. She didn't. She passed like, I think she was around for quite some time though. Like to at least when I got into high school, I think.
Oh, that's beautiful.
At least. Yeah, but she had a lot of people in her household too. Like a lot of people, like generations in the house. Yeah, there was a lot going on. Yeah, and I never understood it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. What part of the South your family's from?
So that's my dad's mom's mom. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not 100% certain. Exactly where she's from. However, I'm certain that both of my both sets of great grandparents on my mother's side, they are ironically both from Georgia.
Oh.
And my grandmother and my grandfather though, they didn't meet each other until late teens, early 20s.
Okay.
In Chicago. So the thing is, ironically. But then at the same time too, though, you know what I'm saying, you got the Great Migration,
of course,
like that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So
they was running away from kleptocrat.
Yeah, and Chicago was like a super hot spot for us to
new opportunities. You know what I'm saying? New opportunities.
Yeah, so I'm guessing, because I haven't gotten the full story behind it, but I know that my grandfather's mom raised him by, for the most part by herself, but she had brought him up from Conyers or something like that up to Chicago when he was 12. Wow. And then my grandmother, she's the youngest of 9, and she has three older siblings that were born in Georgia.
Youngest of 9.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think they was from either Marietta or they was actually from Atlanta, one or the other.
That's a lot of your bloodlines out there.
Yeah,
man.
so 3 of them was born down there in Georgia, and then her mom and father, they took their family to Chicago and then had the remaining 6 in Chicago. So my grandmother was born in Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Man. My my great grandmother I was just speaking about, she was my mother's father's mother. And I don't know where she was from, but she was from the South for sure. Mm-hmm. Food was good. My mother's mother though, she actually passed this year from COVID. Actually, I know COVID-19. But in Arizona, she got it, and her health dropped drastically. It was so fast, But she was from Birmingham, Alabama. She was a tough woman though.
Word.
Yeah, she was lovely. She was so loving to her grandkids for the most part. But I seen how she talked to her kids.
Oh yeah. Hey man.
I was like, oof.
Hey, I don't want
they still kids
that.
in her mind.
I don't want none of that pressure.
In the culture, it's like I feel like you still like a kid to your parent, no matter what. You know. Some cultures I think is a little bit different. I think in black culture it's kind of like that. They demand that respect.
Yeah.
They remind you we not friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Always,
yeah.
Man.
Exactly.
I still see it with my grandma to this day, even with her children, my mom and my aunt and my uncles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I still see it in her, man.
Yeah.
She still see that young kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, man. That's what's up. Man, it's to live that long though, man. Do you think can you identify yourself with an older Gerard that far.
Man, I've tried to, man, and I don't know. The only thing that I could do is envision my own grandfather.
Wow.
That's all. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I cannot see yet.
But lifestyle wise, though. But lifestyle,
man,
like things that you desire. It's kind of so hard to think. Like, so much can happen.
And you talking about like at that age?
Yeah,
like
at that
60,
age.
70,
At that
80
age.
type. You know what I'm saying?
Because some people, man, they come to they come into mind.
Honestly, bro, like I just want to still be able to walk, speak, and write. Literally, bro. Like if I could have like a super like if I could still have intellectual conversations at that time, if I'm still able to walk like I'm talking about like 80, 90 type, you know what I'm saying? If I'm walking to a point where is that I could even still power walk, you feel me? Like, I'm straight, bro.
Yeah.
If I'm able to, you know what I'm saying, document, like, the thoughts that I'm just having, like, just freestyle thoughts, you know what I'm saying, at 95 or whatever the case may be, I'm straight, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything outside of that, man, is cool. I mean, of course, I would also want to have the lifestyle that allows that, too. I wouldn't want anything to distract me from that. And if there's anything that I have to do to just keep things away so that I can do this, then I'll do it, man.
Yeah. I know. I think about how some bands, like people when they go to make music, like these big names, they got huge mansions, they got all these materials, but they still got that creative edge in them, so you can still respect them. And they go out so far to like these isolated areas to go work on their craft, you know, to go to build what they build in. Like Kanye West in the studio, you know, or in the baseball stadium. Like he's like, all right, and that's a lesson for everyone. If you got someone who have comfortably created so much art that will go in history books forever, and they still gotta put themselves in a position to control their environment, a controlled environment, to say this is where I need to be the most productive, then you need to find that way too. That's to find yourselves of controlled environments.
Hey,
period.
Man, that's very
you
profound.
know, like
very profound.
the fact that this man is like, shit, I'm procrastinating, I'm not getting it done. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just guessing like an average Joe. Procrastinating, not getting it done, this distracted me, this party going on, this gathering going on. No. I need to go ahead and get this done.
That's
Lock
real.
myself up.
Yeah.
And it's of course you sacrificing time, you're gonna miss these moments, but you gotta prioritize sometimes in your life.
Indeed.
You know, this moment I'm sitting down here right now, we could be doing so many other things.
So many other things.
You know, I could be downstairs in the pool, I could be walking around, I could just be it's so many other things you could be doing other than creating and sharing with the world more. You could just be trying to enjoy the world. Sometimes it is good to enjoy the world. You know, we had that show COINTEL. That was so long ago. It feels like yesterday, though.
It does, bro.
It feels like yesterday. But then we go out and we live our lives. We enjoy the world and we learn from the world. We get hurt by the world, get our ass beat. We recover.
Per usual, man.
And
but
we
you
recover.
Know what I'm saying? You bounce back. As always, man. You know what I'm saying? There'll always be another day, man. You know what I'm saying? And speaking to that point of controlling the environment, bro, I believe that is pretty much the season that I'm walking into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like and I feel like I've been blessed to allow it to, you know what I'm saying, just come to me, you know what I'm saying, and operate with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, man, I actually just decided last week that this coming Sunday, man, I'm going to do an open mic.
Oh, nice,
yeah,
man.
I'm going to do an open mic at the Green Mill. Apparently the Green Mill is like, I guess, the spot that created or started It's like north. It's on Broadway. It's
Oh,
like 40,
okay.
I believe the address
I know
is
that
like
then.
4806 Broadway.
Yeah, that's like
North
by
Broadway.
like Kingston Mines and stuff like that. I think, man.
I'm not sure what all is in that area. I ain't
No?
up front, bro.
Oh, I should go
I
through
do
that.
think that there's like a hookah lounge not too far away
Okay.
from there, though.
Okay, what date? What date is it?
This coming Sunday, and that
Oh,
is
okay.
the,
I'm gonna be
is
in
that
town.
the 8th? Bro, that day, bro, I would be done, finished a fucking challenge, bro.
The drinking, the non-drinking for a while.
Bro, and as a matter of
'Cause
fact,
this Sunday.
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And this Sunday you doing open mic.
So, man, and it
What?
just happened like that, bro.
You were just talking
But
about
let me tell
Sunday
you
like
what-
it's so far.
I know, right? But let me tell you what. Let
Oh
me
my
tell you what
God.
today is. What
Okay.
today made, bro. Today made 50 days of non-smoking for me, bro.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And I actually decided that I might even go to next Friday without drinking because
Okay.
next Friday would be 40 days.
40 days.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, like when I hear 40 days of abstinence,
Yeah.
I only think fasting.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? That's the only thing that I think of.
I did Ramadan this year.
You did?
Yes, I did, sir.
Without eating?
Yes. Without drinking water. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
How did you do that, bro? I mean, like,
Patience.
okay, so that's the reason why.
The Lord, I don't know. I'm not really religious, but something happened.
This is the reason why I asked, bro, because, you know what I'm saying? I mean, without the consumption of
Yeah.
anything edible.
It was tough. My mood was down. But you just stay productive or proactive.
But you did drink water, though, right?
No.
You didn't even drink water.
Nothing. You can't consume anything.
Wow.
Doing from sunset, the sunrise to sunset, can't consume anything. So I'll wake up super early, get my last things in,
Mm-hmm.
and then
And then just go throughout the
day.
entire fucking day.
And it wasn't so bad though, because like, some parts of the world have that longer the sunrise. And
True, true.
so I would just go
but
through
like-
my
but
work
like-
day.
But like Ramadan though is like when we have the least amount of sun though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
in the Midwest.
You're right.
You
You're
know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
exactly. So it's easier on us.
Uh,
So, but
no,
we
no.
still couldn't eat until I was waiting extra sometimes because Karen would be coming home from work late because at that time she was coming home in the evening. She does more morning shifts mostly now, but in that time she was doing evening shifts, and I'm like, damn, I'm hungry as hell.
Yeah.
I gotta wait.
That makes sense.
I know, but it was a challenge, but I had some support. One of the guys from my workplace, he's a Muslim, and he had kind of challenged. But I like to joke around the non-believers to do it, and then I was like, you know what, man? I like making my life tough when things are too easy. I'm gonna do it. That's my mind. At least you got to. You got to. You know what I'm saying? A lot of winners think like this.
Yeah. No, that's heavy.
Conor McGregor gets made fun of a lot, but I've heard him say things like, and this is before was as famous as he is now, and definitely before he had as much money as he has now. But he was saying these things about how even if you got a lot of money in the bank and you can afford it, sometimes you go days without eating a warm meal just so you can remember how it feels. Just so you can remember that struggle, so you can remind yourself what's at stake. You know what I mean? So you can just that stoicism to just prepare for the worst, and then just to just empower that mind, willpower. That's a big part of my life, willpower. Because like obviously people don't survive it, and they don't have it, and they'll go through certain X amount of things, and they break, and then they end up on the street, and then they do something so self-destructive, it's non-returnable. It's not,
Yeah, it becomes a everlasting decision being made.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The consequence is too great. So you have to, if you want to be here and support the people you love, or increase the odds. To me, my mind is like always the odds, the risks, the numbers around it. If you want to increase the percentage of being successful or being capable of going through life, you need to continuously work on and strengthening your will and you have a finite amount of willpower each day, and you have to strategically use that will each day and be mindful of when the tank is running low. That's what you got to be, because then you can crash, and then it takes a. It's like, how do I explain that? It's like there's some games that if you kind of overdo it, the recovery process, if you wait till the overdue process, it's longer than if you would just stop doing it. If you would just stop overusing. I think some guns on games, like the machine guns, and overheat. If you just stop using it before it overheat, it'll cool down way faster than if you let it overheat. And now it takes a longer cool process. Now you're losing time. Now you can get shot because your gun needs to cool down. And that's how life is for me too. Because like if I let myself overheat, I'm banging at myself, trying to do too much on my calendar, or not minding my calendar, not really focusing on what things I need to get done, prioritizing effectively, and then something pops up that I really need to handle. I'm like, oh, I got no choice but to handle it. Yeah. So I didn't really calculate that of the lack of sleep, because I know usually days. I was telling myself yesterday or 2 days ago, I was like, okay, I got some long days ahead. I'm gonna be able to catch up sleep Saturday night though. Saturday night, I'm sleeping in, baby.
It's a wrap.
You know what I'm saying? Because tomorrow I got soccer in the morning, work after that, coming back here, going to like a memorial tree. It's gonna be bam, 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 knocking things out. Today was kind of like that too. Yesterday was definitely like knocking things out, and the day before that was definitely knocking things out. So it's been long days. But then I'm noticing like, okay, but this day, Saturday night, I gotta get some sleep. And if I don't do that, I know that I'm at risk of crashing. And then if I crash, that puts Monday at risk for lack of productivity. That puts Tuesday at risk for lack of productivity. It might take an entire week. Who knows? I can't afford it.
Yeah.
I can't afford it. And that's the mindset you gotta have. You just gotta put in your mind, you can't afford not to be on top of your shit. You can't afford it. You can't afford it. Okay, you just can't. At our age, you can't. I mean, older people, man, that's struggling financially. And that's a shame because they can't work. They physically can't work, and they're not as worthwhile to the marketplace if they don't have the skill sets to do things outside of just hand and physical labor. Yeah. You know, so if you didn't figure out to make yourself worthwhile. And some people, of course, if we're looking at this era, this age, 2021, there is demographics of people who were just shorthanded tremendously to be able to prepare themselves to live this long period. Yeah. So we're kind of like, it started, not saying it's 100% an even ground, but there's opportunity to win and to set yourself to win.
At some
point. Exactly. Yeah. To set yourself up to win, and to set yourself up to at least be live the rest of your life as someone who's not stressing every damn day, because that sounds awful. That sounds like hell on earth. Yeah. If you get your monthly income, because a lot of people get on fixed incomes and Social Security, and it's really not a lot. It's not enough. It's like $700 a month. How will you survive $700 a month in Chicago? Exactly. Well, you have to move. Okay, and that would be the most logical thing. But if you're stuck with your mind and you've been institutionalized to just be like, nope, I want to be here. This is where my family is. You want to be close, and I get it. But of course, unless your family's supporting you, you're putting yourself at risk of uncomfortable life. It's just not gonna be fun. It's gonna be unpleasant, and you want to make yourself. You want to go through a tough life early on, so the rest of your life is pleasant. So don't get us wrong. Life will be tough. But be tough here, so the early era of your life, so that part 3, part 4, part 5, in that last final chapter, is more pleasant. That's the ideal of what you want. And when I speak to older people all the time,
it's funny that you said that, because I actually just recently had this. Just recently, bro, I just had this. Whether it's an epiphany or whatever it is, that I am only in stage 2 of my life right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is
exactly.
I don't know, maybe like when the day came or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, now, boom, that was stage 1. Yeah. Now this is stage 2. You know what I'm saying? And now we have to do it again. And the crazy thing is, it was like the first time that I thought of something like that, and here it is. I'm 28.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then to your point, you're talking about, we are talking about, people in their elder years. You know what I'm saying? Too old to be
to change your system.
unstable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Financially.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're too old to be unstable financially. You feel me? Because like
limited options. Your options are way more limited to change them at that point.
Yeah, and I do believe that is something awesome to adopt. You know what I'm saying? For us to, as individual beings, to adopt the mindset that if our life is a book, you know what I'm saying, it's only so many chapters, like 4 or 5, maybe 6 at most.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. You got from this year to this year, that year to that year, so on and so forth, and then it closes. You know what I'm saying? And
it's crazy though that since there's so many, like, I guess you call them outliers is the proper term, of people who just shine and they're still trying to change their life. Today I helped the older guy at work. This guy had to be, I can't think of his age, but he had to be in his 70s.
okay.
This man was going to buy, he was having problems with, making a purchase online, Apple.com. Like, Apple, look at the dollar amount, $2,000. What you about to buy from Apple? You about to buy a MacBook? And he's like, yes, I'm about to buy a MacBook. He's an older brother, man.
Yeah.
I bet. And he's like, yeah, I'm about to buy a MacBook. I was going to get the Air. Looks nice. Go. I'm like, why? Why are you getting a MacBook? And he's like, well, I want to edit film. I want to start doing film stuff. I'm like, film stuff?
I feel
Oh, do you know how to do any of that? He said, well, I know what Final Cut Pro is now. I saw a video. That's what he said to me. I kid you not.
See, I know a little bit of it.
I know
a little bit of a lot.
No, but I was like, I was doing more out my job at this point. I'm like, I call it up Apple Store, bro. No, first I did more asking questions about what he was trying to do on his MacBook. I'm like, hold on. You don't want the MacBook Air. You want the Pro if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know how exactly the specs of it, but I just know the Pro is going to be better than the Air, period.
100%.
It's going to be stronger. And I asked him, okay, how long of videos do you want to edit? He was like, about 30 minutes. I'm like, okay. The rendering process on a 30-minute video can be challenging on limited hardware. And I feel like the MacBook Pros now, if you're getting the newest one, you're getting at least 16 gigabyte RAM, which I think is still not enough. And you're getting the 1 terabyte so you can keep your storage of all these videos you're going to be working on. You should be fine.
Indeed.
Dude, walked him through all like he was taking notes. This man took out paper and started writing down like, this man's really serious about getting this MacBook.
That's beautiful.
And then I was like, okay. I was like, you know what? Let me call up some places because like he was trying to order online and it wasn't going to work out because some particular situation was going on with his stuff. And I said, let me just give you the cash and you can just go get it. But let me make sure they take cash on and let me make sure they got it. So I called up. Apple's so damn big, they don't even answer the phone that they stole no more. They just got someone somewhere so far away answer their phone. And they like look into their system. They like
they in India somewhere.
I know.
Like, let me see if the Chicago office actually has.
I told him the specs and he types the stuff. He said, "Yep, they got it." And I said, "But do they take cash though? Because some places don't take cash now because of COVID." And he was just like, I wouldn't say why wouldn't they take cash? I don't think they wouldn't take cash. They wouldn't turn down $2,000 now. That's what he said. That's what he said. And I'm like, all right, and I helped them. And then I did the numbers on the Apple.com, looked at the final price, and I withdrew enough money for even a little sum. Because I told him after that, I said, even though I gave you a lot of information, I don't work for Apple, but I probably could, but not to put respect on their name. I want to put respect on their name. They still could probably even guide you even further to let you know what other things you may need. Because it was so amazing to see this 70-year-old man.
Man, I was about to say, bro. I was definitely just about to say, man, that had to be a great conversation, bro.
Yeah.
It seems like it was fun talking to that guy.
It was.
That's another reason why not only when I was a shorty, I used to enjoy talking to my grandparents and stuff like that, but one of the reasons why I just enjoy talking to older people, you know what I'm saying, especially like elders, you know what I'm saying, especially like senior citizens or whatever the case may be, under whatever circumstances. It's just that if they have some sense to talk into my generation of being, it's like, bro, I'm there to listen.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Open your ears.
So having a conversation with someone that's that old and astute,
Yeah.
man, bro, you can't do nothing but to.
It's still trying to learn, man. Bro. Still like working that. You live longer like that, honestly. Yeah. Like I noticed that the older people who sit back, and even though they're not doing much and they're not, obviously they're really preserving their calories, their energy for the long term, they don't last as long as those who are still working their mind, newer things, reading things, and still engaging in social interactions. Because you're not. I don't know what it is. I don't have enough information on it to describe it in a scientific manner. But I would say that from my anecdotal experience of what I've noticed is that they just stay crisp that way. If we just we keep in the repetitive cycles, we get less crisp, we get dull, and when we get dull, we perish. And I think is for longevity. And we could think about on the shorter term to have longevity in your success. Stay crisp, don't get dull. And that goes back to why you shouldn't be too conservative and try to be reserving everything you have and afraid to take those risks. You should definitely take risks, especially when you know in your heart that you have the possibility to succeed in it. You know what I'm saying? And obviously be smart about it. You weigh of your skill set. I look at myself, and you just put your skills like a sticky notes on the wall, and just say like, I'm good at this, I'm decent at this, I'm proficient at this, I'm good at this. These are the things I don't know. And you
True.
know it, and you're just like, all right, which one of those will I need? And I think about my next move I want to do in my life, what I need to do in my life next. What are these things I don't know well? That I need to get to that level. Okay, then I grab it. That's what you do.
Yeah, no, that's dope because it's like you really, in essence, broaden your vision.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you broaden it out. It's like you kind of, look at life. Okay, you have these two eyes, but you have like 8 different rays in front of you that are all like working outward. It's like going straight and going outward. You know what I'm saying? It's like sprouting and growing and like in different, like it crosses and expands and goes so far out. You know what I'm saying? And then you like then it does this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the first stem is here. And the last stem is here, and it's just going so far. Yeah. And then you just move it around and go where it is that you want to go in life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And you need more reach to get around. You need to be able to reach it. If you're like this, how you gonna reach it?
Exactly.
You need to be developing these things. How you gonna? You need this. This sounds funny, but you need this. You need this. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan would have been Defensive Player of the Year without this, the reach. Literally. Bro.
Look at Kawhi Leonard.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's it's constantly working on yourself. Constantly just pointing out what you need to do and get done. Prioritize it. Put it on paper. I like putting things on paper. Put it on paper first. If you really have a hard time making something concrete, the idea is not concrete. It's only abstract in your mind. And abstract, it can get lost with all the other abstract stuff. You need to put it concrete. Now it exists. It's real. You took a picture of it. You Snapchatted it. You know, not Snapchatted because that shit goes away. you saved the image.
Honestly, bro, I was actually just, man. Honestly, it's like what you saying is extremely dope, and it's like I am naturally watching myself kind of, like blindly, just, like kind of walking around, stumbling and stuff like that, but still coming over there. You know what I'm saying, to what you're saying. Because like just the other day as I was just, because oftentimes one of the things that I came to understand that helps me, whether I'm at my highest, my lowest, or whatever the case may be, especially during 2020, like when everything was just chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, like I find bliss in just writing my thoughts out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like just going. You know what I'm saying? And filling up a notebook if I must or if I can.
Sir.
You know what I'm saying? And just keep going. And I've been on and off with it this year, but I've been consistent with it since like right before I stopped smoking. So I stopped smoking June 17th. I would say like May 28th is when I started to get back consistent with it. So the other day what I wrote was that my pen guides my soul. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, even if you think about life, well, I'll just like just speak to myself. Like even if I am to think about life as if, you know what I'm saying, I am centered in this temple. You know what I'm saying? And this is my nature. You know what I'm saying? And everything that comes out of my temple is just what I'm naturally good at. You know what I'm saying? Or what I just naturally enjoy to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so I'm centered in this temple, but if I am accepting, I guess, just or influenced by, you know what I'm saying, like pop culture or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying, then I'm not allowing my nature to, thrive. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, no.
It could be over.
You can, it can happen. And, like a pen is not something that is connected to the temple, but with it, the temple can transcribe messages, language, something that can be understood in a certain way, and it is indeed coming from the temple.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So you can utilize that as a map. You know what I'm saying? You can utilize that as, anything, a remote controller. You can utilize it as a freaking vehicle. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's crazy that you say that, man. I like that quote a lot, man. You definitely want to. I hope you wrote that down.
I did.
Okay.
And that's why I brought it up, because like,
soul.
Yeah, because like, and that's why I brought it up, because it's funny that you made mention of what you said. You was like, you know what I'm saying, do sticky notes, do this, do that, and I can definitely say that me for one, I've like in the past, bro, like I've never been a fan of sticky notes. But it's like the more and more that I'm writing now, and just with the shit that I just wrote the other day, and with you just making mention in that, like with you making mention of that, while speaking on what you were speaking on so profoundly, it's like, yo, what I said is what I saw when you said it. It's like, okay, boom, the stem, okay, and then you just move it, you know what I'm saying, and you reach. And it's like, damn, like these things are not happening. Going back to the very first thing that I said when we turned the camera on.
Yeah.
Things are happening with purpose. You know what I'm saying? Things are happening with purpose, bro.
Exactly. And, and that's everything. Things happen with purpose. You have to make sure your decisions happen with purpose. Like your actions are with purpose. And that's what I was saying earlier of when we have to control our moods, of purposely leaving messages for them to kind of bring back, to remind your better version of yourself to like come back, because like we need you for this. You know, don't let this old, this version of you who've existed for years, since you've been alive and since you've ever existed, or maybe since something traumatic has happened to you existed. Have it had this thing, give it its time. But you need to be, back on it. And I leave messages for myself on my phone. When I know, like, oh, I'm tired. I got to remind myself by this day, like, knowing when I'm going to be low on that sleep, a reminder saying, like, okay, you have to do this, good luck. I write my message. I write myself messages.
That shit is dope, too. Oh,
yeah,
my
like,
bad, bro.
it's cool.
Yeah, no, no, that shit is dope too. I think that would definitely
affirmation
be
is like good luck.
Yeah.
You know, do this shit. You earned it. You know, once you get this done.
I ain't even gonna front too. I ain't even gonna front. This is the crazy part. And again, this is another original thought. I'm gonna just say it. You know, those be one of the hardest things for me to go back to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm writing my thoughts out and stuff like that, and I actually do encourage the self, like, okay, this is made for you, da 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 da. Like honestly, I write that more often. Like I write that extremely often, bro.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But it's hard for me to go back to it because I feel instinctively feel that it's just something that I must be around. And all I'm doing is just creating it, like just creating a new one right now. I'm just creating a new one. But hardly do I ever, you know what I'm saying, feel like, let me put this somewhere where I would see it next week.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'll forget about it and then I'll see it again next week or tomorrow or whatever the case may be. Or you know what I'm saying, have whatever coming up.
You need to have a system intentionally.
So that shit is dope.
That's gonna lead you to success, keep you on track.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can break yourself up. Like it's interesting how we break up time. We break up time because when the sun's out, the sun goes down, day's over. Of course, you can be up some longer at the day when the night's out. But that's when the freaks and geeks come out. That's a whole different story. You know, a lot more distractions.
Say outside is for everybody.
Yeah, outside is for everybody. And you know, you can break up your days though on your calendar of, you know, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, and then you can allocate the time. You can say on a monthly base, how many hours you want to spend, because you at work they do that to you. They tell you we want 40 hours from you a week.
Boom.
If you give your work 40 hours a week, and you promised them I'm getting you 40 hours a week. And you wrote that on, and they did that to you, and they controlling your time. Why don't you control your time the same way? Yeah. Why don't you give your book project 6 hours a week? Why don't you give your side business 12 hours a week? Exactly, you know, and you start adding it up, and then you start getting at your most optimal, efficient version of yourself. And I find myself in those moments, and I get excited, and that's when I start writing those notes. Beautiful. You were like here at this moment, and this is what you did. Keep this up, blah, 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 blah. You know, you feel good. Don't forget, you tired, but you happy. You know,
that's beautiful, bro.
You know,
that's
tired, but you happy. That could be a name somebody might write one day.
Yeah,
tired, but happy.
Yeah.
You know, it's that's how you know, people, they overthink things. They want shortcuts. They want things to come easy.
Wait, what is it about shortcuts, though?
Yeah.
What is it?
About shortcuts? Well, we got games. We grow up in games with shortcuts. You get rewarded for some shortcuts. You be driving and shit. Oh, shit, you just got a shortcut. Right. And you win. You win the race with the shortcuts. Yeah. But, you know, in reality, there's some legit shortcuts. And a shortcut, just listening and finding a mentor is a shortcut.
True.
Finding a mentor who's going to guide you through the ropes is a shortcut to me and my idea. Yeah. But obviously it's up to you to be open ears, intentionally learning.
Yeah.
Like keep that, like lock in. When you want to learn from somebody, if you want to be a Lego designer and for some odd reason you just bumped into a Lego designer at a coffee shop, lock in, talk, ask questions.
That's dope, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Lock in. I go to the cigar lounge. I was at the cigar lounge last Tuesday. They got CEOs of multi-million-dollar companies in there just smoking across the beat. And I'm interested about that business. You know, I'm not sitting in my chair thinking like, man, I'm jealous. I'm mad they got to do it. Like, they can't be that smart. Why they there? You're like, no, my mindset is, some of it is, of course, if they can do it, you can do it. That's a healthy mindset. Yeah. Not why they there, that should be me. If they can do it, you can do it in a positive manner. But also, if they did it and you haven't done it and you're trying to do it, there's something you're doing wrong. Learn what you're doing wrong.
Learn something.
You know what I'm saying? Learn, and that's when you lock in. And it's so exciting. You. I love that, leaving that interaction, that conversation. Like, damn, I just learned a lot. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you be ready to write. You know, and you be ready to share. But you don't want to, prematurely share, you gotta let it digest. You gotta let it consume. Like this was Tuesday when I was sitting down talking to these people, talking to this person, talking to a married person, getting advice from a married person, getting advice from a divorced person. I like to get advice from multiple angles, understanding each person's story has something to teach you. Has something to tell you. The people in the circles that bump in my direction. I believe there's in some type of faith. I'm not religious, but I believe all right, use this time effectively. Use this moment in the best way possible. A learning experience, period. At the pool, I'll meet someone, and this person might be a big time graphic designer from Egypt. And I'm talking to him like, oh, yeah, you're from Egypt, this is what you did, blah, blah, blah. Tell me, even though I will never see myself as a graphic designer, but I can learn how this graphic designer works his mind to make sure he gets done what he needs to get done. To make sure that keeps him interested, or how he goes over that roadblock. On the creative process, you can meet any creative in any avenue as a poet and be like, how did you feel comfortable of letting this out? And they can tell you their methods of breaking through that wall of fear, or that wall of that shell we grow around ourselves to protect ourselves. Because, growing in our adolescence as a child, kids are just mean. They have no right. They have no class. There's no, because after a while, when we become adults and mature, we learn, why am I beating up on this person? Life hard enough. After if you're a good person. If you're not thinking like that, you're most likely not a good person. Not too late. Change your mind.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
So change your wicked ways.
Change your wicked ways. That's the way to put it. Change your wicked ways, bro. Be positive.
That's real.
Life is already tough. Even if it's a multi-millionaire, billionaire, whatever, they got cameras in their face all day. That sounds exhausting. I'm asking you.
That's definitely.
There's pros and cons to every position we are at. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, if you're at the bottom, rock bottom, now your mindset should be like, the only way you can go is up. And it might sound cliche, but I've always thought that way. When I was down below, I was like, I'm going up from here. You know what I'm saying? It's up from here, and I can learn. I can learn from being down below. I'm not dead. And then obviously, when it comes from that mentality, I come from a football background and understanding trying to put on muscle, then going to the personal training world to put on muscle and learning the muscular development. The whole idea is to destroy your muscle so it rebuilds stronger. That's how life is sometimes. Your ego will be destroyed. You're like, oh, it hurts. But then you can get a stronger ego in return. You can you can reinforce that shit. You feel like, holy wow, I just got slapped by something so hard that I didn't even want to ever consider I'd be slapped by something that hard. But now I'm back. And I'm taking that slap, and you know what I'm saying?
And I'm thriving.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I can survive another slap like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real, bro.
I've been slapped before.
Hey, man, and I can't front, bro. Like, this right here be those type of conversations that, I must have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to have these type of conversations, bro, because it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this is my thing. I definitely saw myself go down to a place that I would have never thought I'd have gone down to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Back last year, 2020.
Wow.
Bro,
Recent.
it was so crazy. And, it even spilled over into this year. But I feel like especially between the months of February and May, between February and May, I started to I realized that I could actually grab this shit by the horns. That, right? I could, you could grab this by the horns. I'm like, oh, okay, well, it sounds good. If it's possible, you know what I'm saying? It's just gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll just do it. I'll understand that thought and I'll transcribe that into some action.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it will go through my mind as a thought, and I would think okay, whatever grabbing it by the horns look like in this situation or that situation, like I'll do that.
Yeah.
Type. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, I actually did it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, and from then until now, I can definitely say, like, I still make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I still have some of those same losses. I still, you know what I'm saying?
Those L's.
Have those same, have certain blows that I take and things like that. But it's like, you know, I'm coming into a place where I feel like, yo, I am taking this thing by the motherfucking horns. And it's like damn near automatic, bro. You know what I'm saying?
What does taking it by the horns mean to you? Like, what does that look like?
Gaining control. Like, let's just say that you're on a, like, let's just say you're riding a bull.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And like you are trying to, like, it's gonna do its thing, and 9 times out of 10 you're gonna fall off. But if you grab that motherfucker by its horns, you know what I'm saying? You can gain some stability within yourself and find some type of center.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, on the bull itself.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying, and stay on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this shit is chaotic. You know what I'm saying? This shit is, you know what I'm saying, rough. This shit is I can't think of another word. Dangerous, all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Stressful.
But, you know what I'm saying? But I'm here. I'm on top of this motherfucker. I'm going to grab it by the horns and I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, find some type of control.
Yeah.
And stability and purpose for even being up here in this dangerous position. You know what I'm saying? I'm a rocket. So it's like, man, that's definitely where I feel like I'm at right now. Man.
Yeah. That's a great color shirt, by the way.
Oh, thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
I got some pants that color.
Word.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't wear it. We would have been matching. It would have been weird.
And the crazy thing is, bro, I damn near started to grab that color shirt out of my neck, like that, and because high key, that is one of my favorite colors. Burgundy and
burgundy.
red.
My father's favorite
red
color
is up there for me.
Yes,
and
sir.
it was definitely in my mind to wear that today, but the only reason why I didn't is because, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna be outside, bro. You know what I'm saying? But no, I realized
outside
because like it was like 72 degrees or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, I might be able to go either way.
We should go to the rooftop, man. Let's go chill out, man.
Yeah, man, anytime, bro.
Let's go now, man.
Right,
I think the people heard enough, man.
Let's do it.
Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Hey,
you know,
man. Hey, bro.
Thanks for having you over, of course.
Thanks,
you know, of course you're not leaving right now, but we're going
of course not.
Relax and enjoy.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and,
sir.
You know, I think we shared a lot, and
honestly, this right here will definitely live for some time. I know for a fact that me myself, I would thoroughly enjoy watching this back.
Yeah.
Just for myself, and I ain't even gonna front. Like aside from perfecting a craft.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Aside from, you know, critiquing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Our production, what we produced. Like, this was some great shit, in my opinion. It's not even fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Conceit or, like, whatever. Like, I feel like we both said some shit.
Yeah. Free balling it, too.
Especially you, bro. Like, you said at least 2 things that I felt like, bro, like, in the moment, I'm like, nigga,